Isiah Thomas is going to be in our area. The Hall of Famer will appear at the Taste of Philadelphia Festival of Food, Wine, and Spirits. It's happening on Friday through Sunday at the Greater Philadelphia Expo Center. It'll feature fine wine and good spirits with special guests, NBA Hall of Famer, back-to-back champion, Isiah Thomas. And he joins us now on the Boardwalk Honda Hotline here on 97.3 ESPN. Isiah, welcome to the show. How are you?
I am doing great, my friend. How are you?
All is well, and I was watching you last night on the NBA TV coverage of that opener, and people here are hitting the panic button already. You know, the Celtics are that much better than the Sixers. They didn't close the gap at all. Ben Simmons can't shoot. I saw you talking about him last night. I thought you had an interesting take about, does Ben Simmons have to shoot better?
Hello?
Isiah, can you hear me? You have me here.
Yeah, you went out for a second.
Okay, here we go. So I saw you last night on the NBA TV broadcast talking about Ben Simmons and whether or not he has. People are hitting the panic button today, like they lost last night, and Boston's so much better than them. And you said, I thought you brought up an interesting point about Ben Simmons and his shot.
Yeah, I think with Simmons, for me, his growth, it's got to occur at the foul line. Because as a point guard, when you're a point guard in this league, your responsibility the last 2 minutes of the game is truly to close the game out. And you close the game out offensively. Normally, you're closing it out from the foul line. You're not turning the ball over, and you're making sure your team gets a good shot down every time. And if you're not a really good foul shooter, in the high 70s at least, the coach and the opposing team, your coach and the opposing team, you're going to be a target. The opposing team is going to target you at the end of the game to foul you, and your coach is going to lose confidence in you at the foul line. So therefore, at the end of game situations, they'd probably design plays to take the ball out of your hand. Now, if you're Ben Simmons and you improve from the foul line and you up your point production 2 to 3 points a night just by making free throws, then that's going to be the difference between winning 3 to 5 extra games during the course of the regular season.
Yeah. Now, you look at the Sixers with Ben Simmons, Joel Embiid. They're not the I've heard you say that you think Kareem is the best player to play the game over guys like Jordan and LeBron. But in today's game, which is wide open, shooting threes, can a team win being built around, I don't want to say Kareem, but a Joel Embiid and a guy like Ben Simmons who don't shoot all that well?
If Joel Embiid dominated the inside like a Kareem, like a Shaq, like an Elijah Wan, then the game would change. The reason why, all the three-point shooting is so in vogue right now is because there haven't been dominant big players who make their defense have to adjust to them every single time down court. So when you mention Kareem, when you put the ball in Kareem's hands, if you didn't double-team him, he was making 9 out of 10, possibly 10 out of 10.
Right.
If you didn't double-team Elijah Wan, he was making 9 out of 10, possibly 10 out of 10. So those type of big guys are not in the NBA anymore. Now, if Embiid can develop into that, he will definitely change the way the game is being played.
We'll get to some hoops with Isiah Thomas in just a minute. He's going to be at the Taste of Philadelphia Food, Wine, and Spirits. It's this weekend at the Greater Philadelphia Expo Center, and you're going to be there. I know you have the champagne, the Chirlon. Did I say that right? Chirlon?
Yeah, you said it right, my man.
There you go. All right, because I'm waiting for them to pop the bubbly in the Sixers locker room soon. But how'd you get involved? I know that you're a big part of that. And then how'd you get involved with this Taste of Philadelphia, which is in our area, which is pretty cool to see that. When I saw you were there, I was like, wow, this is pretty interesting.
Well, our Chirlon champagne is in 95 stores now throughout Philadelphia, throughout Pennsylvania. We're in Philadelphia, Harrisburg, and also Pittsburgh. And The Sherlon family has been making champagne since 1788. I've partnered with them, and I'm bringing the champagne into the United States. I'm the largest African-American importer of champagne in the United States. Now, before you clap and say, hey, well done, Isiah, I just want you to know I'm the only African-American importer of champagne. so I can claim the number one spot there.
Well,
our champagne has been well received. We won double gold. Our Blanc de Blanc is a traditional grape variety. It's won double gold in the New York International Wine Competition. We got 4 SKUs. We have a Brut Special. We have a Rosé Dissanier. The Dissanier is the only rosé that's a Dissanier, I believe, in the United States. The Blanc de Blanc is the only Blanc de Blanc, I believe, that's in the United States. 100% Pinot. So we've done extremely well. We're in 11 states right now. It's probably the hottest champagne on the market right now, and I'm having a great time with it.
You will also be doing a cooking demonstration on Friday, and then for the people listening, if you're planning on going there, you can see Isiah from 6:45 to 7:15. He'll meet fans afterwards and sign bottles of the Sherlon champagne near the on-site Food and Wine and Good Spirit store. So you'll be interacting with a lot of Sixers fans. So would you tell them that the gap is wide between Philly and Boston?
I would say there's a gap. I wouldn't say it's insurmountable. It's going to depend on how well folks can improve, and then when they incorporate Wilson Chandler, I think he'll be a big addition to the ball club. But Fultz is going to have to improve, and he's the number 1 pick in the draft. And he's going to have to perform and play at that level. Because if Embiid and Simmons and folks, if all those 3 kids reach their potential, and excuse me when I call them kids because they're not kids, if those 3 young men, if they reach their potential, then, the gap is not wide. And you'll be looking at Philly, Boston like we were looking at them, competing in the 80s.
Yeah, back when you guys were running things. How close are you? You still talk to a lot of the Bad Boy guys?
We were all on the phone this morning, and I must tell you that I was getting the short end of the stick. They were killing me on the phone this morning. As a matter of fact, Lambert was, he was in rare form this morning on the phone.
A lot of
yeah, we all still talk. We all still have a good time.
There's a lot of characters. So I wanted to ask you, because that team, you had you and Dumars, who were kind of the stars, but there were so many characters. Who do you think was kind of the key to get you guys to that level where you were back-to-back champions? Who do you credit for that?
I really have to credit everyone. I mean, if you, I don't know if you had a chance to see our 30 for 30,
yep.
But when you talk about a team, we were the truest sense of a team during that period of time where we all made sacrifices. We all communicated with each other, and we were all in it together. Coaches included. So I couldn't single out one person without talking about the whole team. As a matter of fact, one of the reasons why we were on the phone this morning, I'll be straight up with you. It's like they're talking about great backcourts, and they like to talk about Dumars and I as a great backcourt. Well, I always like to say, no, our backcourt was Vinnie Johnson, Dumars, and I. There was, we played small ball in an era that they wasn't playing small ball. But, when you think about our backcourt, it wasn't just Dumars and I. It was Vinnie included in that. And, so I always have to, make sure that people recognize that Vinnie was an integral part of what we did and how we won championships. As a matter of fact, in our second championship, he made the last shot to win it for us.
You had a great group of characters. In fact, when Mahorn was in Philly,
and they all drank Sherlon champagne,
which our fans, listeners can also check out this Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Isiah Thomas will be appearing at the Taste of Philadelphia Festival of Food, Wine. When did you get involved with that? How long have you been doing the champagne?
3 years now. Actually, two and a half, but I just rounded up and say 3 years.
Gotcha.
And the good thing about all champagne, which makes it so unique, is that all our grapes come from the same vineyard. We got close to 200 acres over in the old region of Champagne, and when all the grapes come from the same region, we don't have to add as much sugar to our champagne. And it's not as high in sulfites. So that's what makes our champagne really unique. And also the 4 SKUs that we have when you talk about the food pairings and appearing with the chef. Normally people think of champagne as celebratory, situations. Mm-hmm. What our champagnes are made for and designed for is to go with food pairings. So, our Brut Special, that's the one that goes well with cheeseburgers, French fries, and hamburgers. That's what I like. And our Rosé, D'Isagny, can pair with any food. And our Sherlon Thomas, our black labels, they go well with, meats, fish, so forth and so on. So these champagnes can pair well with any kind of dishes. That's the unique thing about all champagnes right now, and that's why they're taking off. And right now we're in 11 states.
It was a lot of fun watching you play, a lot of fun having this conversation, and I hope our listeners will go and meet Isiah on Friday for the food demonstration, the cooking demonstration on Friday at 6:45 to 7:15. He'll meet the fans, sign bottles of the Sherlon champagne, and you can meet him up there. And all weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, at Taste Philadelphia Festival of Food, Wine, and Spirits. Can anybody beat the Warriors? Anybody?
Not if they're healthy and they're playing at the top of their game. If they win it this year and they play the way they're capable of playing, potentially we could be talking about this being one of the greatest teams of all time, because there's never been I can't think of a team in this era that has been assembled as well as they've been assembled with 5 All-Stars. Now, when you go back to, when Boston was in their heyday and when LA was in their heyday, then they had, each one of those teams had 6 to 7 Hall of Famers and All-Stars on the team. But in this modern day era, this team that we're looking at for this era here could be considered one of the greatest to ever do it.
Isiah Thomas, everybody, the Pro Basketball Hall of Famer, 2-time NBA champion here on the Sports Bash.
Should have been 3.
Yes, probably should have been 3.
3.
Yeah. All right. 88, 89. They got you that last one when, all right. I'll give you 3. On
the Kareem Phantom file. It should have been 3. So you know how the young kids are now today. They just claim it, right?
That's right.
Without having to do it.
He's a 3-time NBA champion, everybody.
Yes, exactly.
Hey, Isiah, good luck this weekend. It was great catching up with you, pal.
Hey, thank you. And let me get your address and everything. I'll send you a bottle for you to taste, and hopefully you'll like it. And if you like it, you can call me and say it's good. And if not, you can just really trash it on your next show.
Well, I'll tell you, I'll put you on hold. My producer will give you the info, and we got to try to. We got all these casinos here, man. We got to try to get the product in the casinos down here. There's all the all the new casinos. Everything's hopping in Atlantic City right now. So, well, hopefully we can have you down here sometime.
That'd be great. I'd love to.